So I'm down below the Davis motor mine right now. Most of the activity is up there, up the hill. We'll go up there in a minute. We're just poking around trying to find stuff. Came across this old stove here, or oven, which is pretty interesting actually. It's a tool to make out a brand or anything, but you can see the different burners and such there. And this area that drops off from the mine is just full of bits of metal and things like that. Of course, it's steep, so I'm sliding around. But yeah, there's things like that all over the place. And lots of old tailings piles and rocks piled up. I'll stop here and move on to a better vantage. So we found a blower down the creek, and yep, as you can get a sense of scale from Chuck's hands. And you say the fan is still in there?
Yeah, the fan blades are still in there, right there.
Oh yeah, that is pretty neat.
No, get up, you got spider webs.
So yeah, obviously this is all connected to the Davis motor mine. You look up the creek here. There's a barrel there. A bunch of timbers here. You can see all the rocks are stacked up. And we'll keep heading upstream. Just poke alongside the creek. There's a big rail right there. Pipe. More pipe. I mean, there's just stuff everywhere here. You can see the size of those timbers there. Head over there. Yeah, it's big. And then just more bits of metal, just stuff everywhere here. I'm not sure what that was. There's a boot down here. Go down and check that out. Yeah, that is, that's pretty old. As you see, we've got round nails here, so the Davis motor mine is a bit more contemporary than some of the other places that we go exploring. Just gonna keep heading up the creek. Going farther up the creek now, the amount of metal and wood and such is increasing. And as Chuck said, there are tracks all over the place, and he's right about that. That's where I came from downstream. And that there looks like a tailings pile. You'll see more so when we get up top. Come up the top now. There's a ton of wood here. Like Chuck said, there are rails everywhere. Some kind of pond here, maybe a settling pond or something exactly. Bunch of pipes up there still.
And I'm not so sure that wasn't one also.
Yeah, I was wondering about that one too.
But because it's not marked in the couple, man.
Exactly. And then here, this is where all the water's coming out. It's all flat here, like a tailings pile. Would be expected to be a lot of water coming out of the ground. Nice shot of the creek. There's an old mattress there. Box springs. Pretty solid. Oh, there's more bits of metal down there. Big section of track. Going through the ferns now. There's some big piece of equipment here. I'm not sure what it is. It's dug into the ground, so I can't haul it out for you. But there was a building over here. I'm headed now. You might get to see me fall on camera. Man, that had a lot of thorns in it. Anyway, like I was saying, there was obviously a building here. You can see burned bits of wood and timber there. So I would imagine this probably burned down, which could well have been the Forest Service, given their record.
This is like a processing plant or something? Or?
Okay, I scrambled up here. You can see there's a bunch of broken glass, bits of pipe, and metal sheeting for a roof over there too. You see a cement slab foundation.
Nice rock wall on this side too.
And as Chuck just pointed out, There's a very attractive rock wall along here. I imagine Chuck just encountered an insect. Bits of fittings and pipes. Another set of box springs there. So obviously there are a fair number of guys out here. Looking upstream some more. Again, you can see more of that foundation here. I mean, it was a pretty solid structure. Going off that way. And there's some more here. And you can see the rocks are stained there, and that's one way to tell excuse me, that an adit is nearby, because the water that drains out of the tunnel has that characteristic color. In this case, the water is sort of seeping out of the ground all through in there where I was, but most particularly down here in this spot, you can see it's just seeping out all along there, and there are a lot of hornets down there enjoying the mud and the water. Now this runs up to there. I don't know if there's an adit there or not. We haven't been able to locate the adit. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's caved in, but we haven't even been able to locate where it might have been yet. That's the road down to the buildings we just came from. Still just metal and stuff all over the place. And this bridge here is kind of interesting because the bridge is made out of ore cart tracks. So this is a look at the hydraulic area too. Extensively worked. Chuck's heading down there, and
you took one for the team last time. So.
Going deeper into the hydraulic area now. You see it's pretty extensive. And according to the topo map, there's an adit over here, so we're going to try and hunt that down. There's just a huge amount of pipe piled up here. And so I thought that was interesting enough to share. Yeah? All kinds of equipment and such down here. And then Chuck's over there looking for this adit. So it looks like I will, whether I like it or not, we'll be going down there and trying to find it. So there's a road, you can see the foundation right there, going down in that direction. So I'm going to try and make my way over. Okay, so I've crossed over to that road. You can see some of the stone foundation there. And boarded up here. And then just cruises down like this. So let's go see what is down here. Because according to the GPS, we are getting close to something. And I see a lot of equipment and workings here. So this gives me a positive impression. I see lots of timbers, that's a good sign as well. I believe that may be the entrance there. And I say that based on the rail here, the timbers here, and also that stained soil. Yes, definitely. Okay, because you can see the pipe there. And what's leaking out of that pipe is that classic red, rusty colored water source that comes out of the mines. So I would say, oh yeah, there's a ton of rail here. Big pile of timbers, obviously some structure that was there. And this looks like maybe like some kind of wash pond or something. And I'm gonna go see what's down here. Some kind of water tank there. This is probably an outhouse over here from the looks of it. But I'll just make sure. Look back where it came from. And yes, there is the outhouse. So I was looking down in the creek over here, and there's some kind of boiler down there, kind of hard to see. There's some box springs there, and there's the outhouse again, just to give you a sense of where I am. Here's a shot of that tank or boiler in the creek. You see the valve on top and such. And it came from up there. There's that box spring. Here's another view of the adit straight on, and the road is up top there. Just really impressed by this operation, actually. There's a lot to it. The more I look around, the more I see. I'm out on a tailings pile right now, actually. You see it goes back for a ways. Somebody's claimed this relatively recently. Davis placer. And then, like I said, another tank down here. You're right down here, yes. And then, like I said, some ditches and activity over there as well. Got a wash tub right there. Just tons of timbers and things. More piping. Chuck's coming down up there. Got a lantern, stove and lantern oil. And then that's the road that I came in on right there.